Hey there, Virgo. Welcome to your reading for the week of December 18th. We're just going to jump right in here, Virgo. You have this card that says turn knowledge into wisdom. You also have this card that says be at home. So some of you could be spending time at home and learning things, of course. You have the Seven of Swords, the Emperor, and the King of Swords. King of Swords is literally the card of knowledge and wisdom in the tarot. So some of you could be learning how to do things in different ways. The Seven of Swords, a lot of people read it as lying, cheating, stealing. But really, the Seven of Swords is a good card, although you have the Ten of Swords here, which ruins what I'm about to say. But, the Seven of Swords can say that you are looking for other ways of doing things in your life. You're looking to move in new directions. He is stealing those swords from an army that's in the background of the card. And so instead of going to war, he is, stealing their swords. So it's like he's going to war, but in a different way. And so for a lot of you, you probably have been learning or have learned a lot of tough lessons. You have the Tower here. I'm not going to sugarcoat it, of course. Especially with that Ten of Swords, that would tell me that some of you have definitely been like stabbed in the back by a person, that someone stabbed you in the back. Again, I do not personally read just the Seven of Swords alone as lying, cheating, stealing. Yes, it can represent that. It is a card of a trickster and, all this other stuff. But, I need more than that. I read holistically. I take every single card into account when I do a reading. So it's, my readings are not just one card. And, what I would say here is that with the Ten of Swords, that definitely tells me that you are dealing with a tricky situation, a tricky person. This could have been in your past, and this could be something that you are healing from or that you are kind of like dealing with in some way. One thing I will say is that this actually isn't so bad here. You go Tower to that Page of Swords. Page of Swords is like a card of curiosity and, wondering like why something didn't work out. I feel kind of good about this right here, because it's kind of like saying to me that you could be looking, you could be looking at a past tower moment, seeing like why it happened or why, how you could have avoided it. So it's almost like you're looking for answers. Even you go here and you have this Saturn card, which says structure on it. And the tower always gets reduced down to its foundation. So, it never gets fully reduced, right? And so a lot of you, again, could be adding more structure. Literally, the solution to the tower is to, really what's happening on the card itself is that they're being brought down to reality. So the reason the tower is falling is because they've been ignoring reality. But then they have to rebuild the tower stronger. So that structure card really says that you could be building back the tower stronger in your life. And the tower can represent a belief system, some sort of establishment in your life, like a business, a relationship, a new relationship, whatever. So, again, I feel like you could be doing that. And again, with the Emperor, this could say that that's what you are doing. You have the King of Swords, knowledge and wisdom. Again, I think that, having a tower moment and not learning from it is a huge mistake. So obviously, if you had a tower moment in the past, I would look at what did you learn from the situation? Or, why did you have to go through this situation is kind of what I'm getting here. For some of you, this is clearly love, because, again, you have that Ten of Cups. You have the Seven of Swords. You have the Ten of Swords to that Six of Cups as well. This could also be triggered because of the Mercury retrograde also is what I'm getting. Because I really feel like this tower is a tower moment that already happened. I think it's something that you have already dealt with. With the Seven of Swords, you have the Three of Cups. I would be careful of a person coming back to from the past as well. Mercury retrograde, Three of Cups, Six of Cups here. Both cards of a reunion, and it could be like a person coming back. So I would be careful. I feel especially if you dealt with a toxic person here, Virgo. Obviously, that's not going to be true for all of you. With the Emperor, see, I feel like you've made a decision. It's almost like you are the Emperor in this reading, and you've decided to move away from something. Like a tower moment that happened. So again, if something in your life, something challenging happened in your recent past, we're talking like over the last year or so, I would say, then I kind of feel like this reading is saying, you are in control, so don't like lose control is really what I'm hearing on the Emperor. So kind of weird message, but it makes sense. Again, I think that it's saying, you've brought your life back to a certain point, so don't let someone come in and like mess that up, right? With the King of Swords, you have the Two of Wands. Yes, you are ready for a new adventure, which I say in every single reading for you. Two of Wands is about kind of taking the lead, leaving a comfort zone. He's normally grabbing onto a wand in front of him. and he has the whole world in his hands. So, I kind of feel this is one of those moments, and I know what this reading is now, right? I feel this tower is like one of those moments where just when you start, moving ahead, just when you start getting your life in order, or once you, move on from that person, they pop back up. Or, again, if this is like work or business, it's like just when you start getting ahead, maybe something happens. And I really feel this reading is saying, are you going to go back to the old cycle, or are you going to break a cycle? I really believe that we're in a time of breaking cycles. Like, there is no good answer, right? Like, I wish I had some sort of magical sauce that I could give you that would tell you, like, oh, do this and your life will be magically delicious, right? But that's not going to happen. So what really, again, I read and I just say what's up, right? So what I would say is we're in a time of breaking cycles. It's not necessarily easy. But what I would say is, like, what cycle have you repeated multiple times in your life? How can you squash it like the bug that it is, right? How can you push past it? How can you just not run away from it and sit in the energy for just a little bit longer than you normally would, right? And it's not about like suffering or anything like that. Sorry, I didn't even read these cards. It says good fortune and friendship with the unicorn. There you go. Magically delicious. I was hearing that, right? And you have this golem. It says a close friend acts on your behalf. Yeah, there could be people who are really lifting you up. You have the Three of Cups, which, is a card of celebration and happiness. You have this unicorn card that says good fortune and friendship. So I feel like you are being supported, and there's good things coming in for you. Yeah, I really feel like this is a cycle. I'm surprised the Nine of Swords didn't come up, but, this could also be it could be good that the Nine of Swords didn't show up in your reading, because you have the Ten of Swords, which is the end, so it really could say that if there is something, it's almost like you're breaking a generational curse, or, again, if you have a repeat story, like a story that repeats in your life, we all have them, right? We all have something that repeats. I eat a piece of chocolate and, Little Chris pops up, right? It's like I can't even enjoy myself every once in a while, right? My body's like, nope, you can eat nothing. You can eat porridge and that's it. And you have to eat plain things, right? That is my life. But, whatever, right? So what I would say here is, I feel like for a lot of you, that you need to look at some sort of cycle and, kind of like overcome it. In the act of overcoming it is going to make your life magically delicious. We're titling this reading that, by the way. You have the Ten of Swords. Ten of Swords is like feeling stabbed in the back. No doubt about it. Some of you have been stabbed in the back, or, by a person or something like that. Again, this could say, though, that you're seeing it as a blessing in disguise. To me, the Ten of Swords is a blessing in disguise, or can represent some sort of blessing in disguise. He's making a symbol right here, and it's the same symbol that the Hierophant is making on his card, and it represents a blessing. So, I feel like there's a blessing coming in for you. You have the Tower. The Tower, again, I think we've talked about this enough. Clearly, there was a Tower moment. I feel like what you thought to be true isn't true, or wasn't true, or something along those lines. Again, I also have that thought. It's like a thought that's popping into my head, which is weird. Not an intuition, right? It's like popping into my head as a thought of, getting very, very close to something, and then having something happen, And again, I don't want to discourage you or anything like that. Again, I think this reading is just saying, are you going to push through that moment and get to the other side, or are you going to run away again? And again, I'm not criticizing you or anything like that, right? I've done it. So, I'm far from perfect. And, I kind of feel like this is encouraging you to push through it, because, again, there could be something really, really nice on the other side of like a little bit of an obstacle. It is interesting that in the area of the good stuff at the end, you have this card that says, this mountain card, it says challenges, achievement. So it's like, I always say, where do you get the best views? At the top of a mountain. So yes, mountains represent challenges, but they also represent, like a reward or an achievement in your life. So I really kind of feel this reading is saying that you need to push through something. It's like something was built on not like a faulty foundation in the first place. You are adding more structure into your life. With the Ten of Swords, you have the Five of Pentacles. I'm hearing like spiritual poverty. I feel like you were dealing with a past person here. We see it even going this way. I feel like you were dealing with a past person who is spiritually poor. And, again, not a criticism or anything like that, but, I feel like this person just was toxic, really, is what I'm getting. So, I would focus forward in a new direction. With the Tower, you have the Four of Swords. Four of Swords is healing. Again, I told you that I knew that this Tower moment had already happened. Again, personally, I don't think the Tower is a bad card. I want Tower moments in life, personally. Like I always tell people whenever they complain about the Tower, I'm always like, you want Tower moments. If you lived a life with no Tower moments, your life would be exactly the same always. It's like, I'm sure there are things you don't like about your life, right? So, you cannot change those things without Tower moments. They are not necessarily bad. They can represent shocks to the system, sure, but really the solution to the Tower is simple. Just don't ignore reality. When something happens in your life, when something isn't right in your life, leave instead of allowing a Tower moment to happen. Again, Tower moments happen when we do things like stay in relationships we know aren't right, work at jobs that we hate and can't stand, and instead of going looking for another one, which again, I am far from perfect. I worked at a cafe. I worked there for like just too freaking long, right? And I got to this point where I was like super salty and I was like a jerk, right? But again, because I could have easily left, I could have easily gotten another job. Nothing was keeping me there, but I had this like false sense of responsibility or whatever. So again, that's when we have Tower moments, and I had a Tower moment at that time. So, and I've had plenty. So again, we can avoid Tower moments by just not ignoring reality, by being honest with ourselves. With the Ten of Cups, you have the Page of Cups, new love coming in. Definitely a new person. This could be your person as well. But I feel like this is saying, like, avoid the past person, for sure, if you want love. Some of you, I don't even think want love. I think you're just kind of, like, focused on your own achievements. Next, in the area of what's coming towards you, you have this Chiron card that says heal. So you could be healing from this Tower moment. You have a Saturn card, structure. Definitely after a Tower moment, you want to add structure to your life. And, this could be in, in business, in work, pretty much anything. So, I feel for a lot of you, it's time to add structure to the things that you work on, and it's time to make them stronger. I think that, again, people always ask me whenever I say this as well, like, how do I add structure to things I'm dealing with? And I always say, like, since 2016, we had Saturn in Capricorn, and I would just say, like, education is probably the best thing you could do. So I know it sounds simple, but literally, like, whatever you want to stay in your life, love, business, money, spirituality, whatever it is, right? Just keep learning something about it, and every single day. And it doesn't take that much work. It's not like you're in school here, you know what I mean? It's like, if there's something that you want to maintain in your life, go watch one YouTube video about it every single day. Literally changed my life. I did that for my YouTube channel. I still do this. Look at how many changes I make on my channel, right? I'm still growing. And there's a reason for it, right? I am constantly improving. And it's not like, sometimes I get comments where people, I think they think that it's like some sort of grind or something like that, but it's not. It takes me like 5 freaking minutes. I watch all my videos on YouTube on like triple speed anyway, right? So it's like I watch there are people I subscribe to that teach, amazing things. I watch their videos triple speed, and then boom, I learned something new, right? And then the extra step with Saturn and Capricorn is that you implement it, you try it, you put it into practice and see how it works for you, right? So if you do that on anything that you're working on, doesn't matter what it is, you will see great improvements. Again, why do you think relationships fail? Because people don't keep the romance alive. They don't keep trying to do things to keep the romance alive. And again, the other thing is that sometimes you have to be honest with yourself and just say, I don't want to be with this person. or, again, I think the other problem is people stay in relationships too long instead of setting someone free, allowing them to go find their person so you can find yours, right? So again, that's the other side as well. I could go on and on, but, I'll spare you the details. I won't bore you today, but, there you go. You have the 6 of Cups, 4 of Cups, and the Page of Swords. 6 of Cups, again, soulmate. I kind of don't even feel like this part of the reading is a person from the past. I think someone from the past hurt you, or there is some sort of hurt, but, really I feel that the 6 of Cups could be a new soulmate that's entering into your life, something much better. Next, you have the 4 of Cups. I'm getting this as a fear. It's like you and Pisces, I always say that you two are the most similar opposites out of everybody that I read for, and I feel like you two signs have this fear that you are not going to be able to have the things that you want in life. It's like you have that, maybe you're just being a little bit more triggered by, it's like, let's say you want to get married, you have the 10 of Cups, right? And you want children. It's like you could be getting triggered by things like your age, it's like, which I think happens to a lot of people. You could be saying like, oh my God, I'm, 30 years old or whatever, and I'm not going to be able to have a family. And it's like, well, that's probably not true, And again, I would work on any of those fears where you feel like you're running out of time. It's definitely popping into my head. Saturn is time. So, I feel for a lot of you, there could be a lot of those fears. Like you're saying like, oh my God, I'm, 50 years old. I'm not going to be able to start my whatever, And it's like, I feel like this is saying that's not true. So, I almost get that fear of the future. That's not exactly accurate. It's more fear of like running out of time. You have the Page of Swords. Again, I do feel here that you could have a tricky person from your past who still has their eye on you. So, again, if you're dealing with that, I would just like block and move on, of course. I just wouldn't deal with it. With the 6 of Cups, you have the King of Cups, definitely a new person coming in for you. You have water, fire, you have air here. Could be any sign. You have Aries as well. So, it could be any sign coming in for you. I would say that whoever's coming in for you, and it doesn't matter what gender either, King of Cups just represents an emotionally available person, plain and simple. So, that's what I get there. That's pretty much it. Some of you could be moving, I'm getting as well. So there you go. With the Four of Cups, you have the Six of Wands. Yes, you will be victorious. You will have what you want. Again, magically delicious is the word I was hearing earlier. So, I feel you will have the things you want. Again, I'm not saying this is going to be easy. As a matter of fact, I feel that for most of you, you're going to have to overcome something. And again, it's that point where you normally run away from something, or, it's just like one step further than your comfort zone. And we're talking about like in business and work or whatever it is you do. It's like that point where you would normally give up. I would push yourself to that point because I feel that's where this victory is going to come from. This guy has been to war. That's normally on the Six of Wands. And so it really does suggest that you've been through something and now you're kind of having a victory. With the Page of Swords, you have the Four Cups here. Again, I like this Four Cups. There are these 3 cups that are pouring into 1 cup, and this is from the White Sage Tarot. So, this kind of represents either a person who really pours into you, or you getting into a situation that really pours into you. You getting into a situation where there's more than enough, like abundance. Next, you have this Jealousy and Gossip card, this Mountain card. It says challenges and achievements on it. So I feel for a lot of you, and this is coming up in the area of the good stuff, by the way. So if you've had any issues with like other people, it's funny because you and Leo always get these messages of dealing with, some sort of, backstabbing person or a jealous person or whatever, or someone trying to get into your business, literally, like if you have a business, someone trying to cause problems or whatever. And it's like you and Leo are right next to each other, so it kind of makes sense. But it looks like you're overcoming that if you've dealt with something like that. Obviously, that's not for all of you. And for others, again, this is coming up in the good stuff, so it looks like you're having some sort of achievement, probably after a very difficult period of time. And so the Ten of Wands is a card of burdens, but he's about to reach his home that is right here, and he is about to have a harvest. Personally, I like the Ten of Wands because, again, he's about to have a harvest. He planted those wands. He wanted the responsibility. So it wasn't easy, which we've been saying this entire reading, but he was able to accomplish it. So it's like you're accomplishing something hard here, and it's leading to positive results. Actually, not as bad as I thought this reading was going to be, by the way. So, not bad. You have this Magician card. Yeah, I feel like you have the power to manifest at this time. There's something about like more tools. I've said this to you before. I'm almost positive as well that I've said this to you before. There's something about you needing to use a talent, gift, skill, or ability that you're not using. Or it's like, it's like you need to inject more of something into what you are doing. I don't know what that's trying to say. Again, maybe you have a business and you have like a talent, gift, skill, or ability that you could apply to the business. Like there's some sort of twist that you could add to the business. There's some sort of, something going on here. And I feel like you need to look into that with the Magician. You have the Page of Wands as well. Page of Wands is about going on some sort of new adventure, so I feel like you're on a new adventure. New love, also. I also always pull the card the Magician is pointing to, which is going to be this one right here. And there you go. You have this Maiden card. It says, a new relationship blossoms. So if you want new love, definitely new love here for you. I feel like some of you do, some of you don't. So, it's like 50-50 in my head. Let's see. With the Ten of Wands, you have the Nine of Pentacles, yes. See, I feel like whatever you had to, like whatever difficult challenge you went through, it's like you had to go through it because it made you more independent or something like that. It made you more who you are. With the Magician, you have the Seven of Cups. Seven of Cups is being spoiled for choice, having a lot of options, and it's like manifesting options, especially in the good stuff. So I feel like you are literally manifesting good stuff. With the Page of Wands, you have the Strength card. Yeah, it's like you've been very patient, and I feel you've done a lot of work on yourself with the Ten of Wands and the Strength card. And so this is leading to, a result or improvements in your life. We're going to pull 5 main themes as well and see. You have this extremism card. Yes, everybody gets this card. We are entering into a time of extremism. Literally, at the end of 2025, like into 2026, Neptune enters into Aries. And I know that we're not there yet. I get it, but we're close enough. Neptune is a gigantic planet. So those giant planets, it doesn't matter if they're not in a sign or not. It's like it's getting towards those last degrees or, into those later degrees of Pisces. And so, it is what it is. And, what I would say is that is extremism. So, there you go. And by the way, the third decan of Pisces is like prison. So, I would be careful of, extreme idea. Anyone who comes in at you with like extreme ideas, I would be careful of adopting extreme ideas as well. It doesn't mean that you can't. It just means make sure you're thinking for yourself. You have this Charity card here. I do feel like the universe is being very generous. I was going to say this and I didn't, that, you have like, it's almost like you could be getting some sort of gift, but like a lot of people have been getting this message this week of, kind of receiving a gift from the universe, or 10 of Wands, getting to the end of a long journey, finally getting rewards that they're owed and things like that. So I don't know, it's almost like the universe is giving us a Christmas gift or whatever you want to call it. Next you have this flattery card here. I feel like you've learned to tell like what is a real relationship and what is not. That's what's popping into my head. It's like you've learned to tell when someone is like really into you or not into you. And I don't know, it's very cut and dry popping into my head here for whatever reason. And so, sometimes I feel like when I get one of these bad boys right here, my intuition is heightened. It's almost like an extra antenna, right? And it's my zit is telling me that it's like you're like, oh, you're just not going to waste your time anymore in relationships. That's really what I get. So that was from the zit, by the way. You have this affair card here. This is actually a good card. It's not like a cheating affair. This is just like a love affair. But it's like true love. So clearly there could be a solid relationship coming in for you. And finally, you have two cards. You have this egotism card and this escapism card. Like I said, I feel that you are able to tell like where a person is coming from. And if they're not coming from a good place, I feel like you're leaving. And this is not just in love. This could be if you work with people in work or business or career or just in your personal life or whatever. I feel like you're doing this with all relationships. Pretty interesting reading here, Virgo. So I like it. Thank you for being here and definitely enjoy your month.